Hi guys, welcome back to the tutorial on how to use Virtual DJ 7. Today we're going to be looking a little more into hot cues, especially into creating beats. Now this is going to be extremely helpful if you don't have a song that has a beat that you want to use, or you just want to do something cool in your free time. So I'm going to load up this song, Oh Yeah, by Daft Punk, in here. Now I've already queued it up already, but let's just hear what it sounds like without any mixing. Sounds pretty cool. So I have hot cues at different spots. If you watched the last video, you know how to put it in. However, I'll show you again in case you didn't see the last video. So we're going to remember option and number 1 to bring to the first cue, option 2 to the second cue, option 3 to the third cue, whatever. So we've set our first cue at option 1. That's just like the bass drum kick. We're going to go to option 2. There's your click. And another spot. So we're going to pick option 1 and wherever we want this cue to be, so let's just move it there and we'll say control 1. There's our cue. So now I've got it loaded up and it'd be kind of hard to mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this lock button over here, which allows me to lock the key pitch. So if I didn't do that, it would sound like I was scratching a record. So that's not going to work. So we're going to lock it up so that the pitch stays the same. And we're going to bring it down to about 70 BPM, which is going to give me plenty of time to work with. I can do a slower pace, I can do a quicker pace, and I won't run into other beats in the song that have already been processed. So I'm going to do Q1, and what I like to do is hold down the option key with my thumb and use both of my hands to do the cue. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do a simple beat. Which is basically the beat of the song. Now, I've gotten different spots in the song as well. I've gotten Q8, which works nice. Q5, which is a nice, almost like a bass beat, which is nice. And anyway, so I can go through and I can cue this up. So, I've gotten all my cues up. Everything sounds nice. That's basically it for hot cueing. This is going to be a nice short video, so I'll add something else in the video as well. And that's how to use some of the effects in the thing. This will be extremely helpful if you have a song you want effects in. So we'll take a look at a song, Hide and Seek. I like the Afrojack remix, which is really nice that he did it his Essential mix a while ago. Anyway, so we'll open that song up. We just double-clicked it, dropped into deck 2. We'll go into more and dropping into decks later. Anyways, so we're in Hide and Seek. I've already got a cue up in the first place, Hide and Seek, where she starts singing. Which is already heavily processed, but I want to add a little bit more of a reverb to it, which would be cool. So we're going to go in the effects menu, which is over here, and go over to reverb. And we're going to activate on deck 2. You can tell which deck it is by these numbers. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go over to 2. And I'm going to select my reverb effect, activate it, and I'll just play with the sizes and it'll sound kind of cool. Which is cool. And other thing I like about Virtual DJ is it doesn't just drop the effect when you stop playing the song. So I can play a song, and when I pause it, the effect's carried. So it works very nice if you're switching off a deck, you want to throw a reverb in real fast, and get a nice build down as you go through. Another effect you might want to look at, which I really especially like, is the break effect. It's really good when switching off a song and you don't want that uncomfortable silence, so I can play something, which works nicely. The last one I want to take a look at is beatgrid. This is a really cool song, especially if you have something that you want to have things on. So I'll take off the reverb because it's not going to sound very good. Now this allows me to take parts of the songs. Now what is kind of confusing about this is what these bars are, where they're very long. These are the 4 beats of the song. Right here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it allows me to play the thing multiple times. So if I just selected this whole thing and I cleaned it all out by clicking on the tracks and made it all white, it would just play that a million times. But by using the other ones, it comes out kind of cool. So we're going to activate it on deck 2, and we're going to play, which sounds kind of cool. And if I clean it out, I'll show you exactly what it sounds like. Oh, I'm going to activate it. So that's what it sounds like, and it's not exactly the coolest sound. So I try not to use it. So we're going to play with this a little bit. Oops. And get back to our first thing. Oops. Sorry, that's better. Which sounds pretty cool. You can throw it on beats, you can throw it on vocals, you can throw it on whatever you want. And it works very nicely. If you want to activate it on decks 3 and 4, which we'll show you how to mix in 4 decks later, you can click onto whatever deck you want. And the only way you can do it is you can go to your effects menu and drop down and select beatgrid. All these settings will still stay the same for every deck. So you cannot play with multiple beats grid settings on multiple decks. You would need two different beat grid effects that were playing on 2 different decks. But if you only like this one, which is really what I like, then it works. And so you can click this and you can play it with whatever song you want. And by clicking on this, you're clicking activate, and it works very